A Nintendo Direct is happening in July, or at least that's what everybody is speculating. So today, I have gathered several games that I want to see announced at this Direct to form a game wish list. And in this video, I'm going to discuss what these new games are that I want to see and what I want to see in them. I also posted a message in my community tab asking you guys what you would want to see in a Nintendo Direct, and I'll talk about those after my wish list. But anyway, let's get right into the video. The first thing that I would want to see in a Nintendo Direct is a new Animal Crossing. Now, it's been over 5 years since the latest Animal Crossing game came out, New Horizons, and that game has sold incredibly, selling over 40 million units and being the second best selling Nintendo Switch game. Now, I didn't love Animal Crossing New Horizons because it felt like the game was just too focused on customizability and not very focused on the core charm of Animal Crossing, talking to the villagers, and just feeling like you're in a homey small town. And I really liked that charm of previous games, and that's one thing that I hope to see in a new Animal Crossing game. Now, in this new game, I would hope to see a little bit more villager dialogue. I just felt like New Horizons needed a bit more. Occasionally, I would just see repeat dialogue that I had seen before, and other Animal Crossing games, I just didn't feel that. While we're on the topic of villager updates, the older games being more charming also included villagers being a little less nice sometimes, and it felt a little bit more realistic. They could be even outright jerks to you, so I just kinda want to see a little bit more attitude in the villagers, rather than Nintendo keeping a nicer profile for the villagers like it was in New Horizons. And, you know, I get it, there are kids playing these games and you don't want them to get traumatized, but I feel like just a little bit of playful attitude could be kinda nice. Now, before we move on to my next wish-listed game, an Animal Crossing New Leaf remaster also wouldn't be horrible in my eyes. That is my favorite Animal Crossing game. It balances charm and customizability perfectly, and I just feel like a remaster would also satisfy me with updated graphics and all that stuff. Now, before we get to the rest of the wish list, I would really appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. It really helps me out. The next game on my Nintendo Direct wish list is Luigi's Mansion 4. Luigi's Mansion 3 was honestly one of the best games on Nintendo Switch. It didn't feel like it was doing anything too crazy. It kind of blends the 3D and 2D world so that you still feel like you have the depth of 3D gaming, but it's also easier for newer players when you have a more simple 2D setup where you don't need to adjust your camera. It would also be cool if Luigi's Mansion 4 expanded on the idea of Scream Park, where you could have mini-games and 8 different players at a time able to play. I thought that was really cool about Luigi's Mansion 3, and I feel like if they expanded that for Luigi's Mansion 4, that would be a really welcomed addition. Now, as far as the location of where this new game takes place, I think either Nintendo could play it safe and just make it take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, something that the Luigi's Mansion series just hasn't done yet. It could be kinda interesting. You could make Peach's castle haunted, maybe Mario and friends are captured, like in Luigi's Mansion 3, and King Boo's out on the loose. Nintendo in recent years also seems to really like islands theming. They made Mario Party Jamboree on an island, and Mario Kart World's open world is also an island. So, in my opinion, it would make sense if Luigi's Mansion 4 took place on an island. It'd be kind of a cool setting, but the way I see it, it's a bit of a toss-up on where Nintendo goes with this. Do they do a hotel resort but on an island and make it a little bit too similar to Luigi's Mansion 3? Or do they do like an island city theme or something like that? Either way could be kinda cool in my opinion. The next game on my wish list is a game that we do already know about, but we don't know much about it, so I'm still gonna speculate about it, and that game is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. As someone who thoroughly enjoyed Tomodachi Life on the 3DS, I am really excited for Living the Dream, but I'm also a bit concerned just because it seems like Nintendo is changing a lot from Tomodachi Life. For example, it seems like the apartment building that was in the original Tomodachi Life is no longer there, and the Miis seem to live in houses now. Now that's not at all a huge deal, it's just that the apartment building was a big part of the first game and I kinda liked having the Miis living that way. Now what I want to see in the next direct is more footage of this game just in general. We've barely seen anything, just kind of a first look at the game and a general release date saying it's coming out in 2026. We haven't seen any gameplay footage either. I just want to see what has changed with this game besides the fact that it seems like the Miis live in houses now, all the details on all of the new locations, and I also want to see confirmation that Tomodachi Life Living the Dream will have a Switch 2 edition that improves graphics because we've only seen the Switch 1 version of the game so far. Finally, I hope this game doesn't go down the Animal Crossing New Horizons road, where there isn't much charm of the original game, and they drip feed updates slowly that should have been there from the start. Because if I'm buying a $60, $70, $80 game, I should be able to have most, if not all of the content right there from day one. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate updates, I just feel like updates shouldn't be updates if they feel like they should have been there from the start. Like in Animal Crossing New Horizons, when most of the holidays were not present in the game when it was released, and they were added by updates later on. My next wishlisted game is also a game we have already seen, but we've barely seen any of it, and that is Kirby Air Riders. So this is supposedly Masahiro Sakurai's big new game that he's been working on. He's been taking a break from the Smash series, and he's finally going back to Kirby and making a sequel to Kirby Air Ride that was on the GameCube called Kirby Air Riders. Now, I'm not super big on Kirby, and I certainly have never played Kirby Air Ride, but I will be picking up Kirby Air Riders just to try it. My brother's a huge Kirby fan, and he's pretty excited for Kirby Air Riders, so I will definitely be trying that game out. I am curious how much better that'll be than Mario Kart World, since both games are coming out this year, and they're both racing games. Either way, I'm imagining that this game is Masahiro Sakurai's passion project, and he just wanted to take a break from developing Smash. Either way, I just want more footage of Kirby Air Riders because we've only seen a few seconds of footage, not even any gameplay, and this game is coming out in 2025, the year we are currently in, and we are over halfway through 2025, and we barely know anything about Kirby Air Riders. The final game on my wish list is a new 3D Mario. Now, in my opinion, 3D Mario could basically go either way. I was certainly not Super Mario Odyssey's biggest fan. I feel like a lot of people glazed it. It was not the greatest Mario game ever. I feel like it was just okay, but I don't feel like the gameplay was super deep. I just think the controls were good and everybody just wanted a new 3D Mario at that point. But I do still like 3D Mario, and I definitely enjoyed Super Mario Galaxy. I have not played Galaxy 2 yet, but I definitely plan to play that one soon, especially if they end up putting it on Switch 2, similar to how they put 3 of the 3D Marios on Switch 1. As far as 3D Marios that I've liked and kind of what I would want in a new 3D Mario, I really liked Mario 64, although I feel like the Nintendo 64 hardware was kind of holding it back. I feel like it could be one of the greatest games ever if it was remastered at some point. But I did really like the charm of this game. It just felt like a simple 3D game that just was pretty fun. I also did really like Mario Galaxy. I feel like the power stars that you collected were genuinely a prize that were kind of difficult to get, but not seriously difficult. If a 3D Mario went in the Galaxy direction, it could be really nice because you do have Bowser kidnapping Peach, but you also had Rosalina's backstory as well, so that was kinda interesting. Those are the two 3D Mario games that I really liked. I will say that Mario Odyssey had a really good soundtrack and a pretty good control set, so if they kinda mashed a lot of the 3D Marios together, I think they could make a really good game, and I would be completely here for it. Finally, we have a couple of comments from my community post that I made asking for predictions for a Nintendo Direct. Now, I only had this post open for a little while, so I apologize to anybody who didn't get a chance to comment. Now, I have one prediction that I'm gonna go over today, and two that I'm gonna mention. Quizlet says, I hope for DK64 on Switch Online and what they will do for 40th anniversary of Mario and new Luigi's Mansion this year. Now, before I saw this comment, I almost forgot that it's been 40 years since the original Super Mario Bros. Did come out. Now, even though we haven't seen anything about Mario's 40th anniversary, I feel like Nintendo would end up doing something. The question is what? Because 3D Mario I'm not really seeing happening this year because of Donkey Kong Bonanza's confirmation of the Odyssey team working on it. With the launch of Donkey Kong Bonanza, I just don't really see a 3D Mario coming out this year. I see that as holiday 2026, maybe a bit earlier, but I just don't see that dropping in 2025, which is the year of Mario's 40th anniversary. But I feel like a Mario game would have to be the holiday game. Now, you could argue that Mario Kart World, the Mario Party Jamboree TV DLC, and all that stuff, that could be considered Mario's 40th anniversary material, but the fact that we haven't seen an acknowledgement of the anniversary is really interesting to me. Now, like this person said, a new Luigi's Mansion could come out this year, and that could be a possibility for Mario's 40th anniversary, but that is a Luigi-themed game, so I don't know if that would fit 40th anniversary, but it could happen. And Donkey Kong 64, I definitely see that coming on Switch Online. I did make a short the other day talking about how DK64 and several other games were kind of leaked to be in Switch Online. We saw them in the background of a blurred photo, and people kind of connected the dots and figured out that it seems like several games are going to be added to the N64 Switch Online. Now, apologies to the two other people who posted comments of games that I don't really know too much about. Here are your comments on screen, but we definitely get a lot of third-party games at Nintendo Directs, so either of these could happen, but I'm not very knowledgeable on them. But anyway guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what's on your Nintendo Direct wish list, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy my content. But anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.